Hello. So, in earth-bound reality, it does make sense to say something is higher than something else. But what would it mean to say a star is higher than another? And so what would it mean to compare? In a more general sense, what does it mean to compare this star to that star? What are we trying to achieve there? So that's to help you see that maybe comparing and saying this is higher, this is lower, is just a way to orientate yourself. And so it's more talking about yourself, not about the two stars that you're talking about, or the two things that are higher, but more the direction that you want to go, your choices and your preferences. Okay. Then on another subject, but a little bit linked, is and I don't know what kind of law. I feel it's a law, but I don't know in math or or electricity or gravity or something like that. I don't know what is that law, but it seems that if 2 points of space are exchanging information, the more that they exchange information, the more gravity pull there is, and the more attracted to one another they are. So I don't know if it's electrodynamic, I don't know if it's gravity or whatever, but I feel there's a law there. And so back to human relationship, when two people interact, they get closer. Not that they actually necessarily move together, but they feel closer to one another the more that they exchange. That's obvious. Well, some people might say, well, but if they disagree, then they disagree more and more, and they look like they're further. They're still getting closer, actually. But what's happening is that they are polarized. So one is saying, well, as long as the person's south pole is where his north pole is supposed to be, then I will not recognize that we are getting closer. And the other person is like, well, no, it's his north pole that should be in the south pole. And so they have shoulds, and so it creates a conditional a condition like as when this will occur, then that will also occur. So when this person recognizes that he's wrong and he's upside down, then I will recognize that we are closer. So that's the mechanic in the person's perception, and that's why it seems that they're going further and further away, but they're still getting closer. They just cannot acknowledge it. So they're getting deeper in the depth of the closeness, but because they don't acknowledge it, it feels that they are further. But so you would say what would be a good analogy? They are in a way walking the same path, one next to each other, and so they have all this path or past together, yet they cannot acknowledge that the separation is their closeness. They are against each other, and so how close can you be if you are against? How far away can you be if you are against? Okay? It's like they are next to each other, they're touching each other, they're against each other. You see, the against might be a good word to symbolize how close they are to each other. Right? When two people are kissing, they are against, their lips are pressing against each other. Alright? And when people are fighting, they are fighting against each other, the same way that they are kissing. They just cannot acknowledge that because of the conditioning, the condition that says, well, or the conditional that says, I will acknowledge only when the other one agrees with me or admits that they are wrong. And it can take a little while. That means that you're codependent on the other person's will to change their way or not, and that means that you have given your power to decide. Right? You just lost your power. You feel very empowered by the decision of saying, I will not until, but that feeling of power is actually you losing power. And then when it gets thrown back to you, it feels like crap. What would be a good example of that? Well, if you were to realize that he is the way that he is, and you are just using the sun or the moon or the stars or the rain to justify the way that you feel, which is, I'm separated, I'm against everyone, I'm alone, I'm withdrawn because. So, like the poor devil who is in hell and he doesn't know that he is in paradise. He's got a good reason why. Yeah. It's a difficult stand. So anyway, that was my little chat for the night. Bye bye.